Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Dr. Laurie Davis, and you're watching the Today Show here on the Disability Channel, and it's Wellness Wednesday. And my very special friend and guest, Dr. Susie Mierzwik, is here to join us. Welcome to the show, Susie.
Thank you, Lori, and good morning to you and all your listeners. I'm very happy to be on your platform and share some very exciting information.
Cool. Well, Susie, we've been friends now and colleagues for, it's going on for a while, hasn't it?
Yes, it is. It's always getting better and better.
Right. And of course, I know that you represent this beautiful product called Lifewave patches. And so I really have a whole new level of people who are watching the show. So this is why I wanted to have you back, because there are so many people out there who don't really know that you exist or that the product exists. And we've both got personal stories to share about the product. But over to you, just as a form of introduction. And I'm going to put you center stage here, Susie, so that
Okay.
you have the full meal deal happening here. Whoops, not you, not me, not me.
Okay. So, would you like me to tell my story? So, I am a retired teacher, and in 2009, I was suffering from terrible arthritis. All my joints were aching. I could barely hold a pencil. Someone came in my classroom at the time and said, Susie, what's wrong with you? And I said, oh, arthritis. I've taken all the pills, prescriptions, drugs, potions, and lotions that the doctor gave me, but I'm not having any benefit. I'm not getting rid of the pain. So she said, you have to try this new technology. Well, I had never heard about it before, but I looked into it and I said, why not? I've tried everything else. So I used this little non-transdermal patch. I put it on my skin each day. And by the end of a month, my hands went from this to this. I couldn't believe it. All the swelling and pain was gone. I also realized I had gotten rid of 30 years of allergies that I had suffered with for decades.
Oh my gosh.
It was an amazing discovery. And I've been using the patches ever since and promoting them to all my clients worldwide. And it's just gotten better and better.
So tell us a little bit about the science behind the patches, because I know that people are always, there's so much out there for wellness now, many, many different modalities. But could you share with us a little bit about the science? Because that's important to a lot of people.
Yes. First of all, I just want to make a disclaimer. Although I have a doctorate in humanitarianism, I am not a medical doctor and I am not your medical doctor. So all the information that I share is purely for informational purposes. Lifewave does not claim to cure, treat, or medicate or diagnose any conditions. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, this is a piece of technology. It is not a drug. When you wear it on your body, nothing goes into the body. So, how it works is that we have infrared light on our body. And some of your listeners might realize that we are light beings. That means if you have night vision goggles, you can see a human being or even an animal at night because of the infrared. So, this little piece of technology has crystals in it. When it is on your body, even within a few inches, it could be on your shirt, on your sock, just as long as it's within your human energy field, it emits a signal. The signal goes to your brain and tells it what to do, like create endorphins, elevate copper peptide, create melatonin, create glutathione. All these natural metabolic processes are set in motion by a wavelength of light.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
amazing.
Well, tell
But
us a little bit about your founder, David
yeah,
Schmidt.
his
David.
name is David Schmidt. He is an inventor. He has been inventing his whole life. In 2002, he was hired by the military to create a product that the men could use for long-term missions without using drugs or chemicals or methamphetamines. The product he came up with was called Energy Enhancer because it opens up all the energy channels in the body. When they used it, the men found that when they were using the product, they actually had less pain than the men that were not using the product.
Oh, wow.
Then he came out with the next product, which was called Ice Wave. And you think of ice, if you bump something, you put, a little ice pack on it. And this one took away the pain in the body. So since then, he has been inventing many, many products. He has hundreds of patents. And the products that he has are exclusive to the Lifewave company and are not available in any other source. And we do not sell the product on the grocery shelves or in the CVS pharmacy. It's only sold person to person with direct sales. And as a matter of fact, Lifewave, I just found out last week when we had our 20-year anniversary convention, Lifewave is now selling 30 million patches a month worldwide. 30
Wow.
million. That's amazing. And we're in 100 countries, and the business went from 20 million, and now it's going up to 400 million.
Wow.
So this is a product that the world can use because we all want to be healthier and live longer, but in a healthy state.
Right. Right. So let's talk a little bit about the product line itself. So as you said earlier, and we want people to understand that this doesn't treat a symptom. So if we say we're going to put an ice wave patch on for pain, it's about the signals.
Yes.
And the brain tells the body what to do. It communicates with our cells. So this from what I'm hearing you say, this activates that.
Yes, that's true. It activates a copper peptide that we already have in our body. It was discovered by Lauren Picard, a scientist, about 20 years ago. But there was no way at that time to deliver the signal. So now we have all different kinds of technology, and everything is in signals and frequencies. I always tell people in kindergarten science, we push a button and our garage door opens. We push another button, our TV turns on. If we're sitting in NASA, we can work on a computer and a rocket ship can go up from the moon. Our doctors can operate on our eyes with a laser beam. You see? So everything is done in wavelengths of light, or there's also wavelengths of sound, but that's a story for another day. However, once you have this little patch on your body, it can tell your brain what to do. So it helps the body to get in balance, to get rid of inflammation, for instance, or to elevate copper peptide. So it's a little instrument that we can use with the infrared light to increase the health and wellness of a person who uses it.
Introducing Veteran House Alliance International Monthly 50/50 Raffle. Purchase your ticket today, link on display, and have a chance to win cash and help a great platform supporting veterans. The Disability Channel would like to thank our existing sponsors. We really appreciate the support and kindness from the BIAs across the GTA, Ontario, Canada, and our friends in the USA. We love making new friends. Thank you for supporting our existing employment programs.
Right. So let's go into the different patches that are available and then how that services us.
Yes, so there are actually 12 different types of patches. And as I said, he started with energy patches when he was working with the Navy SEALs. Then he changed the signal in it and it became a pain relief patch. How can it release pain or alleviate pain when there's no drugs in it? Well, it can send a signal to the brain telling it to increase endorphins. Endorphins are something that are the feel-good chemicals, you see? So that's another patch. Then he came out with a patch that can tell your brain to create more melatonin so that we can sleep naturally without any drugs, without any medication. Another important patch is called glutathione. Now, I know when I first discovered the Lifewave products, I used the glutathione patch and I had to Google what is glutathione? Well, it's an amino acid. It's in every one of our cells, but as we go through life, we're just like an old car. We start to get some bumps and scratches, and some of the parts need to be replaced. But in our own case, we can't replace anything. However, we can raise the glutathione level using a glutathione patch. And what this does, it detoxifies all of the things in our body that don't serve us. And we know there's all kinds of toxins in the environment, right? In boxes of food, in healthcare products, in cleaning products, in chemicals we put on the lawn, chemicals we put in our food. So this basically is like a little scrub brush in a sense, because it's scrubbing all those toxins out of the body and then they're carried out naturally.
So our liver, which is our purification organ, does produce glutathione, correct?
Yes,
But
correct.
then as we get older, you can see where that level of productivity naturally decreases, right?
Exactly.
So this
So
supports liver health.
yes, it does. And the thing is, we don't make any medical claims, but
No.
the proof is in the pudding. When you use the patch, we just say, use it, see what happens for you. There's no drugs in it, there's no chemicals in it, so it cannot harm you. It's even used for pets. So we suggest that our clients take off their used patches from yesterday and put it on your pet because it does have so many restorative properties. And another thing it does is it takes away inflammation.
Oh, that's big.
Yes. And we know that inflammation is the cause of most dis-ease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No matter what kind of dis-ease a person might experience, if you can take away the inflammation, the body can start to heal. It
Right.
also raises our immunity by 300%. So
Whoa.
we
Well, we
can't
need
say
that.
no to that. We know we need that.
Okay. And what else? We have some for skincare. We have
Yes,
some
we
for,
do. We
let's
do.
talk
And
about that.
that one is called Alavita. And last night I had the opportunity to listen to the Lifewave YouTube channel by Dr. Stacy Hallweger. She always has amazing scientists and physicians and all kinds of specialists on her show. Last night she had a physician who was a cardiologist, and he has done a lot of research using our patches. He is going to present at the American Cardiac Association in November. He's done
Oh,
some amazing studies that show how our patches help people to gain back their health. We don't want to use the word heal, but let's just say restore the health of the body. And he even shared some screens of patients that had serious wounds in their body that were refusing to heal. When he puts the little patch near the wound, not in it, but near the wound, the patch helps the body to heal. I think they said 500% quicker. I might be wrong on the the number, but it was amazingly quicker. He also said that he used the patches for some of his elderly clients, even in their 80s, and was having phenomenal outcomes with their getting better in a whole wide range of issues. And one of those is with the cardiac response. So it's
wow.
just putting a signal in your body that helps it to do what it did do decades ago before life happened.
Right. Right. So tell us about the X39, is it?
Yes, that's called
Which is kind of like a
X39.
general, a general health
Yes, it's kind
patch.
of the flagship property patch of this company at this moment because it's elevating our copper peptide in our brain. And this does so many things. It helps us to act and feel younger because it's creating more energy in the body. Now we know as people, as we age, we might not have as much get up and go as we had when we're in our 20s. But when we elevate this copper peptide, it's like finding a new spring in your step. A lot of people notice greater mental clarity, which is a big benefit because everyone, as they age, is not quite as sharp as they were when they were younger because so many cells in the body are starting to die. We have millions of cells in the body, but as we age, some of those cells start to die and they're not being replaced. But now we have the technology to replace those cells. They're called pluripotent cells because they can change into anything we need. They can change into skin. They can change into blood cells. They can change into
Oh, wow.
nerve cells, you see. So that's why the outcome is so amazing because it gives the body what it needs back in the good old days when we were young.
Right. And tell us about the stem cell regeneration. That's pretty exciting as well.
It is, it is. Stem cells are, like I say, we like to call them pluripotent cells because they're
Yes.
in every cell of our body and can regenerate into whatever the body needs. So, for instance, if people use the X39 patch, they can experience all different types of results. Wound healing. For instance, when I broke my knee from falling off my bike 2 years ago, I put the patch on my knee and it was recovered in 6 weeks. And I'm still riding my bike today. The doctor that was
Wow.
on last night said that he's using the patches with his cardiac patients and they are recovering much faster than the patients that don't use it, you see. So we're not making any medical claims, but anecdotally, he can see the difference in the people that use it versus the people that don't use it. So we simply asked, just try it. You have nothing to lose. And
Hmm.
you asked about the Alaveda patch. The
Yes.
doctor, who is Dr. James Neville, was talking about his studies with the Elevated patch, which is a skin regenerating patch. It also has a accompanying day and night cream, which is all organic. However, when you do use the Elevated patch, it is also helping all of your organs as well. So you get more bang for your buck. It's not
Hmm.
just one item that is increasing in efficiency, but all of the parts of the body are acting more functional.
Wow. Cool. Well, let's do a couple of personal stories and then we will talk about costs, what it costs to be there and what it takes. And now that things have lightened up in Canada, I plan to go in today and see if I can reinstate myself because, had a little interruption and we'll talk about that too, because it's important that you have something great when somebody wants to put a stop to it or steal
True.
the idea or right.
Right. And sometimes it takes bureaucracy a little bit of time to
Yes.
catch up with new ideas. However, that's why we want to make sure we don't make any medical claims
Right.
and we just say, try it and see what happens. It does have a 30-day money back guarantee. We can say with 100% assurance that nothing goes in your body. It does not interfere with any protocols the individual is currently doing. However, we can say that over time, with the advice of a doctor, you may often be able to wean yourself off of pharmaceuticals because now the body is acting in a more healthy, younger, functional state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm just going to put up here because I did mention that our shows go to Your Home TV in the United States. And this is where you can go into Your Home TV and watch our shows that have been shipped down. We do 2 a week. So that's, they pick 2 shows a week. And often they pick the wellness show because it's, the information is important and people need to know how to get well, thus our Wellness Wednesday.
Mm.
So let's talk about price point. So if I wanted to be on, let's say, the X39 to start with, what does that cost? And of course, it would be in U.S. funds. We must remember
Yes,
that.
yeah, I'll just talk about the U.S. funds because we are in about 100 countries and people have all different kinds of currencies. But the patches come in a little envelope we call a sleeve and has 30 pieces. So you get 30 little patches. You use one a day. If there's 31 months in a particular month, just skip that one day. You just put the patch anywhere on the body. Comes with a little brochure so you can see, put it on the back of your neck and put it on the point of pain if you choose, or put it under your belly button. It doesn't matter because it works on the whole body system.
Right.
And
So what's the cost?
In the US, in US dollars, it comes out to about $100 if you get it through a distributor like me. And I always offer my clients the opportunity to get it at wholesale price. Of course, anybody can go on the web and get it for $150 if they like to spend retail money. That's possible. However, if they go through a distributor like me, they can get a wholesale account, which is about $100 wholesale per month.
So that would be like $3 a day.
Yeah, so that's less than a cup of high-priced coffee.
Absolutely. Right?
I don't know
my
how much they charge for coffee nowadays, but I know it's not $3.
No, it is not. Especially if you don't get one of those fancy ones.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
Okay. And we're worth it.
We are, because we have to make a decision, Laurie, right? Is our
Yeah.
health worth it? Do we want to live vigorous, doing the activities we love, learning, doing, being active, playing with our family, traveling? Or do we want to be, in a rest home, just staring out?
Well,
The
sitting
choice
on
is yours.
the couch, right? Sitting on the couch eating chips and watching TV. No,
Right. And
no,
you know that doesn't have a good outcome.
no, it does not. It does not. So yeah, recently, everybody knows, I guess, that I had this surgery, and I'm now in my 3rd week of recovery. And like I said, I need to pay attention that it's not just the incisions on the outside, but it's the incisions on the inside. So you don't start lugging 20-pound bags of potatoes around and things like that.
Yes.
But there have been a few times that we've had situations here where the patch has certainly supported us. And one was my husband, Ron, had like a major fall, face into the concrete, 6 stitches above his eye. He doesn't even have a scar there.
Amazing.
And he's 83. 6 stitches above the eye, face all beat up. I patched him all up. And 3 days later, you could hardly tell he had a fall.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know. I just, I've got pictures of him with that. And so, yes. And then when, of course, 2 years ago, I had my cancer, I used that glutathione like there was no tomorrow, because I knew it was busy detoxifying.
Mhm.
Because when you've had surgery, and now I'm in that same boat again, so I need to redo this, a lot of stuff went into my system
Mhm.
that I didn't even know about. They were I was all on tubes, and so they were putting things on that intravenous stand. Not just the saline water was going in there, but other stuff was going in there in the little bags.
Yeah.
So I knew that was medication. So, when we're even having surgery, or I don't take any medication, that, but I was forced to take medication
Right.
as
For
part
a
of
life
my
and death
recovery.
situation.
Right, right. So anybody out there who's going through any kind of hospitalization or surgery or anything like that, this can only accelerate the healing process.
Yes,
Right.
that's correct.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
So do you want to share some, without sharing their names, a couple of client testimonials that you've received or personal stories from clients?
Certainly. So one day I was in a coffee shop to meet a client, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to her before, but I noticed that her face was all swollen. I said, "What happened to you?" She said, "Oh, I just went to the dentist and he gave me some kind of medication, and now her whole face had swelled up like a little beaver." And I said, "Oh my goodness, you need the glutathione patch." So I took out my little pouch that had patches in it, gave her a glutathione patch and a bottle of water. She said, "I'm on my way to the emergency room." Can you imagine? She was so good, she stopped for a coffee date with me. But I said, "No, put this patch on and drink your water." Well, she did. In 30 minutes, all the swelling was out of her face because it was detoxifying her of whatever did not serve the body. 30 minutes later, she says, "I don't need to go to the emergency room anymore."
Wow.
Another time, I'm at a health fair and I have a table, and there was vendors of all different kinds around. One lady was selling incense and the smoke was going up from her table. Well, the lady next to me started to have an asthmatic attack. So I ran over there and I said, "What happened?" She goes, "There's smoke. I can't breathe." So I quickly get out my patches, put them right here on her shirt, gave her a drink of water. Her breathing started to regulate because it was taking away the toxins that she was breathing in. You
Right.
see, another client had terrible pain in the foot, and we're not allowed to discuss diagnoses, but terrible pain in the foot is not something you want to experience every day. Again, I gave her specific patches. Within days, the pain in the foot has dissipated. Other people experiencing full body pain use the patches, one, for pain relief, and two, to detox from whatever is clogging the body.
Hmm.
Within weeks, they feel like a new person because they're doing two things: getting rid of pain, and number two, getting rid of inflammation, getting rid of toxins. And these are all the things that drive us into a state of ill health and imbalance.
Hmm.
So what Lifewave likes to think of itself as a technology company working with the body to restore balance.
Yes. Now let's talk a little bit about the importance of the water. I mean, we should be drinking our water anyway, but there is a special attachment to the patches, right?
Yes, it is. And that's why we have energy channels in our body, and that's what helps everything to work. However, the energy channels frequently get clogged with toxins from the food we eat, the drugs we take. Even if it's prescription, it's still not native to the body. The chemicals that we're exposed to every day, we wash our counter, then we breathe it. One of the worst things is dryer sheets. People think, "Oh, that
Mm.
smells nice."
Mm-mm.
All those chemicals are infused in your sheets and pillowcases, which you're breathing. As a matter of fact, one of my clients has terrible breathing conditions, and I said, "Are you using dryer sheets?" And she said, "Well, yes, everybody uses dryer sheets." I said, "No, you
No.
need to throw them out immediately." And I sent her an order of those little bouncy dryer balls that are non-toxic, because chemicals can get into us anywhere, through our skin, through our breathing, through our digestion. All these things become lodged in the body. And so that's why we need water to clean our system out. And you know what, Laurie? We're actually supposed to drink half of our body weight in water per day.
Wow.
And since it has two benefits, basically flushing out toxins, and the other one is we are energetic beings. Remember, I talked about the infrared energy in us, and water conducts electricity. So it just makes sense. We
Oh,
need
yeah.
to be
Gotcha.
hydrated.
Right.
And the patches work better because we're giving it what it needs. And if I could just give a sneak peek about what's coming in
Yes, because
2025.
I'm going to ask you about the conference.
Yes, the
Um,
conference was celebrating 20 years of Lifewave business booming throughout the world.
cool.
Next year, they're coming out with some products that will enhance the body's ability to make good use of the X39 patches. And they're also going to come out with a water system that will make the water more absorbable into the body so that all these things are going to work synergistically. That means together it all works better.
Right. Right. Well, people are always looking for alternative ways, and I've just recently run into some clients who are, I didn't realize, in chronic pain from injuries from the
Mhm.
past, maybe a bad car accident, things like that.
Yes.
Also, I have a new client that I'm really interested in helping him to detoxify because he's been on medication for decades, ever since he was a little kid. I
Mm.
don't know if you were in that stage of teaching when they brought out Ritalin.
Yes, I
And
was. Yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
I left my career on that. They wanted us to give the overactive kids Ritalin. Well, now, 30 years later, they're discovering the unbelievable horrific side effects of Ritalin and what it did to the body to change it forever.
That
And
doesn't
they
surprise
often
me.
become drug addicts or
Mhm.
their body craves those chemicals. Yeah, so recent studies have shown that injection of Ritalin when you're 5 or 6, 30 years later, you're in trouble.
Yes, that's true. And speaking of children, when I was a teacher, many of my students suffered from asthma because down here
Yes,
in Southern California, we have air that we can sometimes see. And so the students had a lot of asthmatic problems. I would sometimes give the patches to their parents so that they could put those patches on their student, and very often that cleared up their asthmatic conditions. Other students, for instance, I remember one little boy, he had a hard time walking. I said to his mom, "What is wrong with him?" And she said, "Oh, he's been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis." I said, "Oh my goodness," and he's 5 years old. So I gave her some patches to use with him, and his condition cleared up immensely. So I'm not diagnosing or curing anybody, but just helping the body to be in balance so that it can function normally.
right. And I was going to ask you about that. Can we use the patches on our children?
Yes, the inventor suggests we use it on anyone that is able to speak, just because they want to know, how do you feel? Do you feel
Yeah,
better? You
yeah,
something hurt. Can you tell me where it hurts? So that's what we suggest. But we don't have any studies on pregnant women or nursing women. But we do have 80 published studies and hundreds of patents on our products.
Introducing Veteran House Alliance International Monthly 50/50 Raffle. Purchase your ticket today, link on display, and have a chance to win cash and help a great platform supporting veterans. By purchasing a ticket or two, you will be helping veterans enroll in the Disability Channel enrollment programs in the media industry.
So if I want to know more information, YouTube is a good place to go.
Yes, you go to YouTube. Lifewave Health is one place that people can go for a lot of information. But I also suggest that they contact me on my website, which is https susiemierzwik.com.
I'm going to put that up here, Susie. So HTTPS.
And then you have to have dot dot slash
Yep.
slash
Susie Mierzwik.
susiemierzwik.com.
We'll get that up here for you. Um, Okay, what's
because
the lifespan of a patch? So if I put a patch on, how long before it's kind of worn out, if you will?
okay, perfect question. And that's one of the frequent questions that people ask. So we always say the patches last for approximately 12 hours on the body. Now you can have them sitting in your cupboard indefinitely because they're inert. They only become activated when they're on body heat, whether human body or animal body. So I always say to my clients, make it easy for yourself. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you put on your patch, you go about your day. At the end of the day, you take off your patch, you brush your teeth, and you go to bed. Then you don't have to add any more routines to your body, to your day. You have to say, oh, I have to think about this. Oh, I have to think about that.
Yeah.
No. If you brush your teeth, you're not thinking about it. Brushing your teeth, while you're brushing, you're putting on your patch. At the end of the day, you're brushing your teeth, you're taking off your patch. So the only patches that you wear at night basically are the Alavita or the sleep patch, which is called Silent Night because it creates melatonin in our brain. There's, in other words, if you're in pain, you can wear pain patches at night, but then take them off in the morning. So
Right.
we want the body to be in balance. So it's like we don't want to keep our phone plugged in 24/7. There needs to be an on and an off, on and
Right.
an off, because it works better if you give it time to balance.
Yeah, to process, right? All right. So let's talk about the career opportunity. There's a career opportunity with Lifewave. Oh, and I want to get back to the convention. Let's do the convention first, and then at the end we'll talk about the career opportunity.
Okay.
So you and Steve went to the convention. Where was it? Tell us
Yeah,
about it.
the convention was in Dallas, Texas, and
Oh,
there were 6,000 attendees. I had never been in such a huge convention in my life, and every seat was taken. I'll tell you, and they had some amazing speakers. Of course, David Schmidt, our inventor, is the chief speaker because everybody is always interested on all his discoveries. He's also getting into other types of technology, which I can share a little bit. He, besides making the water machine, which is hopefully coming out in 225, and the cellularize, which is going to make the patches work even more effectively in the body. David also started a company making drones. This man is a
oh,
genius, and he has a passion to help people. One of the ways Lifewave helps is to provide aid for communities that are impacted by disaster. So they've helped people, that were in the tsunami or fires. The latest way is the people in the southeast of the United States that faced all those floods
mm-hmm.
recently.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, so he sent millions of dollars in aid, and it's delivered through his drones so that no matter what kind of condition the earth is in, they can drop it someplace where the people can access the emergency supplies. So
Wow.
that's one of his new technologies. So he said Lifewave is not any longer just a patch company, but a technology company. You see, and
Right.
he's going to keep on introducing more technologies that can improve our way of life.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah. And another thing that was very interesting was that when he talks about light, and as some people might know, light has a spiritual component to it. We always think of people who are spiritually elevated as having a light around them. They're always depicted in artwork as having a light. Well, now we know with technology that our body actually emits light. And this reminds me of the cardiologist that I was listening to on YouTube last night, Dr. James Nebel, and he was saying that when he has done his research, he can actually see with the machinery that he tests on his patients, he can see the light emitting from them and how when he puts on the patch, the frequency of light around the person changes.
Oh, wow.
So what was once thought to be kind of like just something you made up in your head. And he talked about the chakras of the body. And this is a hard science cardiologist who has been educated in all the medical schools on the East Coast and the West Coast.
Right,
But
right.
he is incorporating these medical terms with something that we used to just think of as metaphysical.
Wow.
But interesting thing is the theme of the conference was Be the Light. And I have a little button on it. Be
Oh.
the light. And that's in the sense that we are the light of the world.
Mhm.
We have a technology that can help people. So we're enlightening them. But it also, interestingly enough, shows up on electrical machines that are above my pay grade to show how the body changes when one puts the patch on.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a pretty exciting thing.
Mhm.
And we know that nothing is going into the body that can harm you.
Well, there's the thing right there. Oh, all right. So, perhaps I'm watching the show today and I'm really intrigued, and I've got 10 names on my paper here of people who could benefit from this product. So, how would I go about becoming a member of your team?
Well, as I say, they can contact me through my website. However, I would also wonder if you could put up my email, because
You betcha.
people can also contact me through email.
I
And
have that right here.
and the nice thing is that I can Zoom with people all over the world.
That's right.
You know, whether it's in Canada or Germany or South America, the Philippines, you know, and I even have a client up in Yellowknife, Canada,
Wow.
which I think is pretty close to Santa Claus's hut.
Oh, pretty close to the North Pole, man.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the North Pole.
So no
Okay, so
matter where people are, I can contact them on email and then on Zoom.
okay. And
So
we can have a personal time with you to get us set up.
yes. And I
Okay.
suggest that because people need to know the best ways to use the product, the technology.
Right.
And we don't make any medical claims, but everybody is different. So I like to work with each client because, everybody's unique. They all have different situations they've gone through, different things that they're dealing with in their life, and they have to be reassured. For example, in some cases, people might feel a little bit of discomfort if they have suffered for a long time. And we call that a healing crisis. And I liken that to sometimes there's a cloud before the storm goes away.
Mhm, mhm.
Sometimes the body has to clean up itself before it's made new. And I know
Well,
when I was using the product, starting in 2009, I would call up my uh, person that had introduced me, and I say, I'm not feeling better yet. I'm not feeling better yet. She said, just keep on patching. Just keep on patching, because everybody's unique and we don't know what we're trying to deal with on an individual level. So if you have somebody that can listen to you on the phone or on Zoom or on email and, ask the questions, I can reassure them, whatever
right,
they have.
right, right. Exactly. Well, I had so much stuff in my system in I was in the hospital for 10 days and I had so much stuff go in there. But then I got rid of a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's important to anybody. And I was thinking about, I was in the unit where everybody was on tubes.
Yes.
So that was their area of specialty. So,
Mhm.
if somebody needed to be tube fed because they had cancer, or, I mean, I had 3 roommates the time I was in there. I had 3 different people in the bed next to me,
Mm.
and they all had different situations. And I have to tell you, I couldn't help but think they would be great candidates for everything, right? All the patches.
It's true. That's
Right.
true.
Okay. So is there anything else that we've left out that you'd like to talk about?
Well,
Just
this product can be used by anybody, and as I say, even pets. And if people are a little bit hesitant, just ask questions. And
yes.
I give answers on a kindergarten level. So anyone,
Yeah, that's right.
my kindergarten teacher background, I explain everything in terms of what a 5-year-old can understand.
Yes.
So I don't
That's the
make it complicated, but saying that, I also like to educate my clients. So I will also send them YouTube videos that can assist them, support them in their knowledge and answering questions.
right. Right. And I'm like you. You're familiar with our product line because you are a client, but we don't make any medical claims either. But we can, in fact, make medical claims in relation to the outcome for people when they clean up emotionally. That's what we do, and how that impacts our physical health. So, people stopped having migraines that they'd had for years. Let's talk a little bit about that connection with LifeWave. Once you start having that wellness, that healthier feeling, you also then make different kinds of decisions.
That's very true. And you know what? We're all one being, mind, body, and spirit. So the work that you do, Laurie, does help people clear up their own mind, their own spirit, their own emotions, the things that are keeping them from being the best that they could be, shadows in their background, dysfunctional families that they have, been part of. And as just to speak for myself, your programs have helped me to get rid of a lot of the ghosts in my closet that I never saw before, thinking problems that were holding me back from being all that I could be. So I have to say, if anybody is dealing with self doubt or worries about self empowerment or worries that they're not good enough or they came from a family that was just too messed up. They couldn't get any better. I just have to assure them that by dealing with your issues on a personal basis, you can clear up anything. And, you'll be forever happy after that.
Yeah, and then you'll make a really good decision because you deserve it and you're worthy of purchasing those products like your patches that will support us. Because when you fall in love with who you are, you'll only want to do things that support you.
That's
So
true.
that's why we're so connected because we're in the same ballpark just
Mm,
to, how we do things.
that's true.
Um, Also, Susie, one of the things you did, you wrote a book. Do you have a copy of your book handy?
Yes, I do.
Let's promote that.
My book is called Sow in Tears, Reap in Joy, A Transformational Journey. And this book is a product of searching through my life to see what was dysfunctional. And with Laurie's help, I was able to put to rest a lot of the ghosts of my past and become more than I ever thought I could be. But it wasn't just that my family was dysfunctional. Dysfunction is a generational thing. And
Yes,
you'll find out that it's not that your parents meant you any harm, is that they didn't know any better.
that's
And
right.
so now, once we know better, we can do better.
That's right. And you've also been a big part of quite a few compilation books as well.
Yes, 12 books, but who's counting?
Oh, 12. I don't think there was one when I met you there. All right. Whoa, 12. Woohoo.
I've been a little busy.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. All right. Well, we're getting near closing time here. So is there anything else you are feeling pressed to share? We have about 5 minutes left. And if you're just tuning in today, my guest, Dr. Susie Mierzwik, and great information about the LifeWave patches and the company and the progress. And a lot has happened, Dr. Susie, since we'd had you last on the show. So this is why a regular appearance, every 3 months or so is important, because we're all moving ahead very quickly. And we understand that we need to, because the world needs our help
There's a
and
lot
needs our
to
support.
share. There's a
Hmm.
lot to share, and I'm really happy to be associated with a company that wants to elevate people in
Hmm.
their health and wellness in a
Hmm.
natural state, to elevate them so that they can go forth and be the best person they can be, just like you want your clients to be self-empowered so that they can be the best person they can be. And we
Yes.
all have to deal with things in life, whether they're physical, emotional, and we can conquer those blocks, those doubts, those things that are preventing us from living our best life. And I just
Yes.
want to give people hope that there's a better way, just like you give hope to your clients. They might come in not feeling self-empowered, but after going through the process, it's like blinders come off. And then you go, oh my
My
God,
God.
I can feel better now.
Right. Because we all deserve to feel better. And when you're sick, like you said, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, when you're not well and you don't feel good, you don't get to do anything special, because you're so focused on trying to get better or feeling better. So embrace the tools that are out there. There's lots of them. We've never had more access to
Mhm.
support and help than we have right now. When my dad gave me my first self help book in 1962, there were probably only 10 of those kinds of books on the shelf. And now
Right.
they're the bulk of the store, right? You go into
That's
a
true.
bookstore and it's all that and more. So Susie, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. It's early in California. You had to be on board here at 8 a.m. and you look pretty fabulous for 8 a.m., I might add.
It's the
And
practice.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So thank you for coming on for Wellness Wednesday. I always get stuck on that. I'm not sure what it's
That's a
about,
tongue
but
twister.
yeah, it's a tongue twister. So thank you very much. And if you would like to have a personal copy of this show, I will convert it into an MP4 and I can email it to you. And then we can use it to educate people. Of course, the show is archived. It's streaming right now on Facebook, Laurie Davis, also streaming live on my 2 YouTube channels. So, YouTube, Laurie Davis Show Host, we've got some viewers in from there today. And so, if you are not available to watch the show live, it's always archived in many places. And actually, Susie, you can go in and share the show right from there, if you like,
On
from
the YouTube
Facebook
channel.
and
Yeah,
YouTube as
yeah.
well.
And I'll put your show on my YouTube channel too.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Laurie. It was my
Oh,
pleasure.
you're welcome. We always have lots to talk about, that's for sure. So, goodbye, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our Veterans Show with Jill Younghusband. And we have a very special veteran coming on to talk to us tomorrow. So, thank you very much, Susie. And everybody, have a great day.
Thank you, Laurie.
Your investment will go towards our employment programs in the media industry for persons with disabilities and veterans.